Object for review. Over.
Go ahead, space station.
It seems to be.
Go ahead.
It's,
Go ahead, space station.
Okay, I've made my decision. It's a break it ball.
What?
Six. What a shot. You dig it. Out of the park and into the sky.
The ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
It's out of this world.
Buy your tickets now from tickets.t20worldcup.com.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 7:16 in St. Vincent and the Eastern Caribbean. Just want to say good morning to those on the way to work, school, just starting the day, everyone within the sound of my voice, persons in the diaspora, and persons fighting Sahara dust this morning. And most importantly, good morning to you, Roleza.
Morning, Ari. How are you? You well rested this time? I haven't heard any yawning since I sat down. You got a good night's rest?
Yes, I got a good night's rest last night.
Very good, very good. All right, so good morning to SVG. Trust that everybody is having a good one today. I think it seems as if the Saharan dust is clearing up just a bit. I was able to see the outline of Beckway this morning, so I'm hoping that it's just this thing just needs to go away. And I really wish somebody who's older than me could let me know if this has been going on, because as growing up as a child, I don't really remember seeing this. I really can't remember seeing it. Or if it's a case where it has happened or it used to happen, if it's a case of the intensity of it just happening a bit more, because I don't know. I think growing up, I got used to seeing clear sunny days or overcast days if it was going to rain. So yeah, it's I don't know. Somebody could let me know. Thanks.
One thing I found interesting in this Dominica's decision to overturn the ban on same-sex religion. Why I keep saying religion? Relations. Mm-hmm. I saw it said that the complainant is remain anonymous, but an openly gay man. So if you're openly gay, why are you remaining anonymous?
Maybe so that he doesn't have all that attention placed on him. He doesn't necessarily need to be the face behind the movement in terms of getting the.
Listen, if you feel as strongly about it, you need to come out and be in front of your belief.
Yeah, but everybody has the same disposition. I mean, he's advocating for the change, necessarily.
Well, he felt confident enough to advocate for the change. So why not come out unless it is that he's still in fear of his life or something like that? But outside of that, I don't know. Anyways. According to Eyewitness News, police are investigating a body of a female washed up on Beckway this morning on the beach, La Pompe. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we get more information as time goes by. But good morning, Beckway, and ahead of time, condolences to the family if it is that the resident is indeed a Beckway resident this morning. Mm-hmm. So the topic this morning, first thing in the morning, is it greed or tough times? Why is it that so many young people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are resorting to stealing, burglaries, and scams? Well, scams count as stealing, but I don't know. I'm wondering, what is it? What is the cause of this? This stems from yet another story of a young person stealing money, this time from their employer. So according to Searchlight, Oriette Bob was charged that on the dates April 9th, 10th, 12th, and 15th, 2024 at Cyan Hill Bay, she stole $735.65, $300.20, $320.95, $167.75 in cash, respectively, the property of Cash Money Investments of Cyan Hill. She was also charged that on April 16, 2024 at Cyan Hill Bay, she stole $315.50, $230.20, again, property of Cash Money investments. So when she appeared before the court, she pleaded guilty. According to the facts in the case, her supervisor realized something was wrong when certain money wasn't adding up when persons were quote unquote returning items. When he called the persons, they indicated that they never returned the items. When they checked their footage, their security footage, they realized that she was not just falsely claiming to return the items, but she was stealing money from the cash register. When she went before court, the judge expressed her disapproval in everything that was happening, but she did agree to repay the virtual complainant, which is the manager at or the owner of Cash Money Autos. She was, however, granted a suspended sentence for 1 year. Let me just double check that. I don't want to give out any false information. Yeah, she was given a prison sentence of 1 month and 3 days. So not a year, 1 month and 3 days, and that sentence was suspended for the year. So she was ordered to compensate Cash Money Investments in the sum of $2,070.25 by the end of yesterday, and she is indicted to the court. She indicated to the court that she can compensate the company forthwith. If she failed to do so, she faces a 3-week period of imprisonment. Now, when she asks, why is it good morning and good morning, Joshua? When it is that she was
Morning,
asked,
Krempel.
morning, Krempel. When it is that she was asked, why she did this, she said she did it to provide groceries and other stuff for her apartment in Mespo where she lives with a friend. So again, is it greed or tough times? Because we're seeing more and more and more people involved in these things. The judge said that she was disappointed that the young lady exploited the system. But when we see these things on TV shows or play out in social media, usually give them praises. Like, okay, yes, that's right. Exploit the system. They're taking from us, take back from them. But then when it happens in your own country or in your own backyard, you feel a different way about it. I don't know. But there's a lot to unpack here. What are your thoughts?
All right. So the headline or what we're discussing is greed or tough times why so many young Vincentians stealing. All right. Now, I am never in agreement with stealing as an excuse for or tough times being an excuse for anybody stealing, right? I still think that if you do find yourself in a dire situation, that there are different avenues or different things that you can pursue in order to maintain your basic sustenance, right? Now, this young lady, if you read the eyewitness article, there's a bit more detail in terms of what was said there. So as Ari indicated, she voluntarily left her parents' home to go and live with a friend, right? Now, number one, this young lady was employed, right? So I would like to believe, and one of the other things that I have to look at with this particular article is that her parents were actually there for her in the courtroom. Now, knowing that they showed up and they gave their support, it makes me wonder whether or not, if she was indeed experiencing hard times or experiencing difficulties, why is it that she did not try to return home, or why did she not probably solicit the assistance from her parents, right?
Yeah, that's not everybody's first choice.
No, so yeah, right? It's not everybody's first choice. That it is, I do understand. But to note that the parents did show up for her and she voluntarily left home, her mother did not kick her out, right? She chose to go and live with friends. And then you're going to say that you're stealing, you're gainfully employed, and you're going to steal from your employer. It has me questioning certain things. Number two, if you're employed by somebody and you're not satisfied with the salary that you're receiving, number one, you could either voice your dissatisfaction. And before I even start with that, number one, upon the point of being employed, you are going to be told what the salary is. If the salary is not going to cover your basic expenses or your basic living expenses, then you have the option of, number one, not taking the job. Number two, speaking to your employer of possibly getting that raise of salary. And number three, not accepting the job, or even if you do accept the job, what you can do is keep looking for something else in the interim. Yes, it is that she was employed in a position of trust because she was a cashier, she was a store clerk. All right. Now she eroded the trust of that employer. this situation has come to the attention of the public now. And what it does for me is it places her in a position where, for some persons, right? And let me just say this, that I am not totally writing this young lady off, right? What it is that she did, she used a bit of intelligence in the way in which she went about doing what it is she did in order to get the money, not just the stealing the money directly from the cash register. I'm not talking about that, but the other details in this story. So she did display a bit of intelligence. So it means that she is possibly employable, but she may not be employed in another position of trust. So I would not necessarily say that I'm writing her off. But what it is that it does is that it brings into to the forefront her character, her personality. Is this what she wants? It wants to be her reputation, given that she's 20 and this is what she undertook. The article headline actually says woman steals 6 times in 4 months from the store in which she worked, right? So she had barely even settled into the organization before she started stealing. So I am not going to say that tough times are the reasons why young people are getting involved in stealing or
Based
robbing
on this
from
one
person
thing.
based on this one thing. I'm not going to say that, right? Because I still maintain that there are different avenues. You're not happy with the salary that you're getting. You find ways to upgrade your skills, upgrade your qualifications. You go and you find ways in which that you can get another job, which is going to employ you so that you can get the salary that you think that you deserve.
Keep in mind this person is 20 years old. When
Agreed.
I hear that type of argument, sounds like people speaking from a position of, I don't want to say privilege, but a lack of empathy or understanding in situations like these, because it's not just that situation or it's not just persons like this young lady who are going to be stealing. There are people who come from great families who are able to lean on their parents or certain things, and people just decide that is not the life that I want for myself. No, she is again 20 years old. We don't know if it is that she's a kleptomaniac. We do not know what is going on. And again, stressing her age, she's 20 years old. There's a limit on what the salary is based on her experience, because what possible experience or how much experience could she have to be getting a salary that's going to be covering rent, covering all these expenses? We don't know if it is that her roommate might have come into some problems and then she ends up having to cover most of the rent. We really and truly, we do not know the circumstances surrounding this. What I do agree with is her reputation. But I don't think that at 20 years old, it has been completely damaged. She still has time for this to blow over. She still has time to maybe look for employment elsewhere, even in the Grenadines, outside of the country, maybe try to pursue studies, or give this thing enough time to blow over and it won't be fresh in the minds of a lot of employers. And then hopefully she has learned from the experience, because she did get a serious scolding from the judge, who openly expressed disappointment in the way she handled things. The judge herself said, "You're clearly a smart girl. Why not just report the fault that you saw in the system instead of exploiting it?" But again, persons don't usually give reporting these faults praises. They give praises to people who exploit the system. Praises to people who see an opportunity for cash and grab it. We see it in movies. We see it in regular conversations. Person will say, "Yep, if I got a chance, I'm going to take that." And she got the chance and she took it, not saying that it's right. But we have to be realistic if we're going to have a discourse about this. We've seen many other situations. The girl who created the scam, she was 24, 25 years old, where she was stealing from persons claiming to have an online store. We've seen burglaries. When you check the age of some of these burglars, there are people below 25. We do have a problem where we're seeing more and more young people, and we do not know what it is, going down these specific avenues of crime in order to, quote unquote, take care of themselves. And again, not everybody wants the security of daddy and mommy coming to the rescue. Some persons may feel hyper independent. She's on great terms with her parents, as it appears. She left home on her own. Her parents came to court to support her. More than likely, they're the ones who paid the fine or the money or repaid cash money. So it could be just her as a person deciding, I do not want to lean on my parents if it is that I am going to succeed as an adult.
But then we also have to say, Ari, at the age of 20, right? Is she trying to live the life of a 30-year-old or 45-year-old who has that enough experience, enough qualifications, when I say experience, enough work experience or enough qualifications to be able to afford the things that a 30-year-old or 45-year-old, was it a case that she wanted to be able to do these things at the age of 20?
You know, it's interesting you say that.
Is it a situation where she is not trying to creep before she runs?
It's interesting. That's very interesting.
What?
Because you went 30 to 40. Before things became so expensive, persons were moving out of home at 18, before 21.
Yeah, but then how many of them would have been living comfortably? And one of the things that even if you do decide to leave home at the age of 18 to assert your independence, one of the things is that why would you resort to stealing? If you are going to make such an adult decision to leave home, to become independent, are you looking at what your budget is? Are you looking at what all of your expenses? Can I afford to leave home at that time before it is that I make that decision? And what is it supposed to be compensating that lack of money that you're receiving? Stealing? Stealing cannot be the compensation.
Well, the time is 7:31. Definitely, there's more to unpack on this in the next segment. We're going to take a commercial break and we'll be back with Traffic Talk, followed by 7:45 Activating Mornings Return, where we'll continue this discussion.
People's Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical, skin and body care needs.